Well, let me tell you what, I'm going to blush with all that. That was far too much, William, and you're too kind. Thank you. As I look around this room, and I see 270 people. Now, last year was the first year we ever had one of these dinners, and we got 160, and I thought we were doing pretty well with that. And then getting to 270 is something really special. So I particularly want to thank a couple of people. San Francisco, as you heard, SEO was started by Adam Carr. It was his idea. It was his funding that started it. And I said this last year, and as I've had a chance to work even more closely this year with Adam, I come away and I said, boy, you all are lucky to have Adam Carr as your leader in this city, because he's a man of great passion, he's a man of great dedication, and more importantly than all of that, as he said, he comes second. He wants the students here to succeed, and I can't say enough about him, and I cannot say enough, Adam, about your leadership and what you've done. So let's give Adam a big round of applause. Now, you heard Camilla, you heard Johnny, and you heard Nassim up here. And there are hundreds of stories like theirs. There's this particularly special. And every time I hear these stories, and I've heard a lot of them over the years, it just, it makes me want to well up, and I want to do more, because there are many people, just like the three of them, young students who all they want is one thing, and that's give me an opportunity, help me get to where I want to get. And that's what this dinner is all about. That's what this fantastic organization is all about. I didn't know about SEO before 2009. One of my partners came to me, and he asked, would I get behind an effort to start the alternative investment program at SEO? Now, I thought he was talking about search engine optimization. Now, what did I know? I mean, I didn't know what it meant. And he said, no, that's not it. It's sponsors for educational opportunity. So I said, he told me about it, and I said, okay, I'd like to meet the director. And I met William Goodloe, and that was where I started an incredible friendship and an admiration. I've chaired a bunch of not-for-profit organizations over the years, and I will say, without a doubt, he is the best executive director I have ever worked with, ever. And I'll tell you, and I'm not saying it, William, because you were nice and said a few things nice about me, and that I had to get up here and had to say something nice about you. I'd have even said it if you hadn't said something nice about me. But I'm going to tell you, I love working with William, and all I can say is thank God for William that I've got a day job, because I'd be in his hair all the time trying to help this organization. So, I got involved with SEO through the Alternative Investment Program, and then, no good deed goes unpunished. And the same fellow, Ken Melman, that asked me to get involved with the Alternative Investment Program and have KKR get behind it, which we did with TPG and started it, he said, would you be willing to be the chair of the Scholars Dinner? And I said, I don't want to be a dinner chair. I've done that, and I don't really want to do that. And he said, no, I really encourage you to do it. I think it'd be good. Great organization. So, I'm a softie. I said, fine, I'd be happy to do it. And we had a dinner in New York, and we had the students, the scholars up, just like you heard with the three wonderful scholars, Camilla, Johnny, and Nassine tonight. And we had 4 or 5 of them up there, maybe it was 6. And I listened to them, and I was finished with the program. I thought, well, I was so moved by it. I came back up on stage, and I said, I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to give you another $100,000. Because if this is what we are going to be able to produce and help with the support of all of us like are in this room tonight, I said, this is the least I can do. And I challenged the audience. I said, if I give $100,000, who else in the audience will do it? Well, that night we ended up raising, and I don't think they'd ever raised as much money, and that night we raised about $800,000 or $900,000, and I thought it was pretty good. And so well, wait a minute. I'm the kind of person that I set goals for myself. So then they came to me and they said, well, would I be willing to become chairman? And I thought, this is a great organization. This was after they very nicely honored me. And so I was starting to get the picture. This was a setup. And I said, okay. Yeah, I'd love to do that. And I followed in the footsteps of a wonderful man who you've heard Adam speak about tonight, Walter Booker. And I was lucky to follow in his shoes because, Walter, you really set the stage for me and you had it going. And I got really excited about what the possibilities were. And, I like to think rather big. And I challenged the board. And I said, look, we're in New York. We're taking in 125 students in the 9th grade. And I really believe that we can double it. And William and I talked about it, and William said, well, that's going to cost a lot of money. I said, so what? We'll raise it. We can do it. And that's exactly what we've done. We used to take 125 students, and now we take about 270 students in the 9th grade. We got about 1,000 students now in the high school portion of it, and we'll have 1,000 students in the college portion before too long. And what I'm really proud about and pleased is this incredible staff, whether it's Rachel here in San Francisco leading this unbelievable effort out here, or William and Julian and the team in New York. They're some of the best people, and they are selfless. All they care about is what can we do to give these students an opportunity. And that's what it's all about. It's an opportunity to reach the goal that they want. You think about it, and I don't know how many of you know that much about SEO, but the one thing I will say to you is the graduation rate is off the chart. So we take in these 9th graders, and you saw the statistics up there that Rachel talked about where it's 720 hours of additional schooling. That means 40 Saturdays a year these students have to go in basically 9th, 10th, and 11th, and part of 12th grade. And they're going Saturdays from 8:30 to 4:30, and the month of July, 5 days a week from 8:30 to 4:30. Now, I don't know about any of you in this room, but I will tell you, if somebody said to me, this is what you're going to do, I'd say, you're crazy. There's no way I'm going to go to school on Saturdays, every Saturday when all my friends are out playing, or the month of July. I wouldn't have done it. But think about the dedication of what it means for a student to want to go through that and want to have the opportunity, as you heard from the 3 students up here, be the first in their family to get a college education, to graduate, and then get a good job. It's really impressive, and that's what has always moved me when I talk to these students. I get to spend time with them, and I think it's one of the best things. This is one of the best organizations that I've ever been involved with, without a doubt. Now, there's another part of SEO that what you've seen here with Keisha and Pamela are 2 honorees tonight, and that's the career program. And it's an unbelievable program. where students of color and minorities have an opportunity to get a summer job. And what's really incredible is how many of these students end up getting a full-time offer. For example, this year, of the students that were given summer internships, and it didn't matter whether it was a law firm, whether it was at IBM or Johnson & Johnson or General Motors or lots of companies or Wall Street firms, banks, and so forth, 85% of these students were offered full-time jobs. And that's incredible when you think about it there. But why they're able to do that is because the incredible staff at SEO trains them. They go pick them, they go to over 100 college campuses, they find students with a B average or better that can apply to the program, and then they give them 12 or more exams online, and then they bring them to New York for a couple weeks before they actually set out on their job, and they have an intense training program so that when they get to this to the place of their destination of work, they're trained, they're ready to go. And that's why these corporations want the students that we're able to provide for them, because they say, we want and need underserved students to come here and employees here. We don't do a good job at it, and that's a role that, that SEO clearly plays in all of this. So I can go on and be here for a long time, but this isn't about me. This is about this organization, and it's about our two honorees that we have tonight, and it's about the students that you saw up here tonight. So at this time, I'm really proud to introduce somebody that I've known for a while, and my wife, Mary Jose, has known for a while, and this is Pamela Joyner, is of the first class of the SEO career program, which I just talked about. And she saw the value of SEO over 30 years ago and what it meant and how it launched not only her but people's careers, and that really helped get her started. She graduated from Dartmouth and then went on to Harvard Business School and has had an incredible career in finance at different firms on Wall Street, and then ending up launching her own firm, Avid Partners. And today, she's taken another step. And the step that she's taken is one that I am I can't tell you how proud I am, because she's a philanthropist. That means giving back. It's giving back to society. It's being helpful. She's also an avid art collector. And, it wasn't just her business career, which is absolutely fantastic, but it's these other things that have really helped make her into the kind of woman and the leader that she is. She's a trustee of several prestigious art institutions, the Art Institute of Chicago. She's a trustee there, and of the J. Paul Getty Trust. And she's also deeply committed to a personal mission of opening doors for marginalized communities in the arts. She's passionate about reframing art history by introducing and promoting artists of African descent to the larger arts world, artists who previously had not been included in this world of art and collectors. They deserve to be, and she's helped these people get to where they are. And along the way, Pamela has developed perhaps the most impressive art collection focused on underappreciated and neglected artists, helping them gain widespread recognition. Now, as she has said in her home in Sonoma, this house is full of artists you haven't heard of until recently. And it's because of her passion and because of her help in getting these artists, many of them are minorities, into a position to be recognized and get into collectors' hands. And it's through this important work that, and her passion for education as well, that Pamela continues to fulfill SEO's mission of opening doors of opportunity for others. So I'm very proud she's a member of our great SEO community And I'm particularly delighted and pleased to present Pamela with the SEO's Alumni Leadership Award. So Pamela, please come on up.
Thank you, Henry, for your really kind remarks. And I'm especially grateful that you and Mark McMorris outed me and named me as the oldest woman in the room this evening. So now that it's all on the table, I might as well discuss it. In 1980, when I was, and this has been said by almost every speaker this evening, but it does bear repeating. SEO changed my life, gave me a full range of opportunities that otherwise would not have been available to me. And I'm deeply, deeply appreciative of that. And I'm inspired by the scholars that headlined our evening because their prospects are so exciting and their focus is so keen. And so I think they're a testament to all of the great work that goes on by all of the individuals in this room. So I'll take a minute and talk a little bit about my story and how SEO has particularly influenced my life. So in 1980, when dinosaurs ruled the earth and I got my internship at SEO, I didn't know really what investment bankers did, but it was really exciting to have an opportunity to try to be one and to meet a bunch of people in that industry and to go on and spend more than 30 years in the financial sector. In 1980, and I mentioned this to my dinner partners at the table earlier this evening, I also had the opportunity to read a transformational book. It was called Footsteps, and it was about the great philanthropist Brooke Astor, who then lived on another 30 or 40 years. I mean, Brooke Astor was well over 100 years old when she passed away. But this notion of being a philanthropist, and I'm quite sure, I mean, I'm the child of two teachers. I'm quite sure I'd never met a philanthropist before, but when I read that book, I set out to live a purposeful life and set being a philanthropist as my goal. Now, this was an arithmetic challenge given that I didn't have a trust fund, so I had to work hard for several decades so I could get to the point where I could accomplish that particular goal. And so now I'm really having the time of my life trying to give back to the communities that have rewarded me so greatly. And that is where we come to my passion. I have a lifelong passion for the visual arts and also for the classical performing arts, ballet in particular. And so what we are endeavoring to do is nothing less ambitious, because we're ambitious in the Bay Area. We like disruption, and we have confidence. And so we're engaged in the endeavor of trying to change the full arc of the full art historical canon so that those who have been overlooked will not be erased into perpetuity. And so again, if not for that summer job, long ago, I wouldn't even be able to have the opportunity to do what it is I do every day, and I'm really a fortunate person. So thank you for listening to my tale. With that, I'll turn it over to Neil Malik to wind up the evening. Thank you so much.